Usually, people like exhibiting behavior like this, they just need to be removed from the general population. I think that's definitely what would be best.
You know they found this girl, right?
Where?
In our neighborhood. Down our main street.
Is she good?
No,
No,
she's not.
she's dead. That's why this is very important. It's all on you right now.
That isn't my problem.
You were
You
the
were
last
the
one
last
with
one
her.
seen with her. So right now, it's facing you right now, son.
This is Aiden Fucci, a 14-year-old boy from Florida, being questioned by his parents at a police station in 2021. Aiden is being held and questioned under suspicion of murdering his 13-year-old classmate, Tristan Bailey, something he insists he had no part in. But to understand how police came to suspect Aiden was capable of murder, we must go back to the beginning. In the quiet town of St. John's, Florida, Tristan Bailey was just a 13-year-old girl attending Patriot Oaks Academy, dealing with all the usual challenges high school brings. She was a dedicated and talented cheerleader, full of enthusiasm, ambition, and determination rarely seen among other kids her age. Her classmate Aiden, however, was a different story. According to those who knew him, Aiden Fucci was an oddball. While his teachers noted that Aiden showed them respect and never outwardly caused trouble, his hatred of authority, arrogance, and know-it-all approach to life was off-putting for his teachers and classmates. Throughout his school life, Aiden would land himself regular suspensions, usually after getting into fights with his classmates.
Well, at first, I didn't know if it was him or his friend that was in ISS, and that's why they were in ISS, because one was saying the other one said it.
But the allegation was that Aiden threatened to throw another student out a window.
That's correct.
A female student.
That's correct.
Okay.
But outside of school, Aiden was displaying far more red flags. Aiden had an unnatural obsession with murder, frequently discussing the topic with his friends. According to those who knew him, Aiden often talked about his deep desire to feel what it would be like to kill another human being.
Yeah, it's pretty obviously red flag. I thought they were going to say something like he liked true crime or he liked horror movies, something like that. And usually people go for like, oh, they like horror movies, so of course they're a killer. But no, he's actually talking about what do we like to kill somebody. Yeah, that's pretty it's pretty specific.
He has said he said his knife he wanted to slit somebody's throat, and he said it'd be satisfying. He's talked about killing people. He's talked about fighting people. I've seen him practice stabbing motions with his knife.
Each of these abductions was flawless.
Where is he taking her?
Aiden would often talk about how he would murder his hypothetical victims. He suggested that he would take them into a wooded area at night, stab them, leave, and later claim he had nothing to do with the murders.
When he talked about killing somebody, he even told Zoffie Bowman how he would do it. And what he told her was, I would walk around at night and I would find somebody else walking at night. I would drag them in the woods and I would stab them, and then I would pretend like I didn't do it so that I could keep killing people.
In her sworn testimony, Aiden's girlfriend confirmed that he had an unnatural obsession with the idea of killing, and often claimed to hear voices in his head encouraging him to murder someone. When he wasn't at school, Aiden would always carry a knife, one of two.
The fuck, it's like a million red flags. Does everybody he was involved with know that he just spent all of his time thinking about killing people? Nobody said anything. They reported to his school counselor or his parents or something?
Named Picker and Poker. On several occasions, she said Aiden would pretend to stab her or sneak up behind her and hold one of these knives to her throat. Despite the blatant red flags on display, his girlfriend believed it was nothing more than teenage morbid curiosity. She never thought he would go through with it.
That's going to be Sophie coming on the skateboard towards the house.
On May 8th, 2021, the day before Mother's Day, Aiden spent the day with his girlfriend and their friend Trey. The three spent the day skateboarding around the neighborhood, as they often did. Across town, Tristan was enjoying dinner with her family. When she returned home around midnight, Tristan's older sister saw her on a video chat with a boy in a baseball cap, who convinced her to come and hang out at Trey's house. After an hour together, Aidan and Tristan left Trey's house. Between 1:24 and 1:45 a.m, neighbourhood surveillance cameras caught them walking toward a cul-de-sac at the end of the street. It was the last time Tristan would be seen alive. Aidan took Tristan to a wooded area and stabbed her 114 times, killing her before she could fight for her life. The murder happened precisely as he previously suggested. He took someone into the woods and stabbed them. In his mind, he had committed the perfect crime. Only he didn't.
You can see that he's carrying something in his hands.
At 3:27 a.m, Aidan ran back home barefoot, holding his shoes. When he eventually got home, Aidan got to work, hiding the evidence in his room, convinced that he had gotten away with murder. The following morning, Mother's Day 2020.
The most little kid story ever. Like he had no idea what he was doing, killed somebody. There was, of course, like, I don't know, I guess like any reasonably competent person would probably think, if I'm in the woods, he should have just cut through the woods, out of the back of the woods to where his house was, instead of traveling on the regular streets. I don't know.
21, Tristan's family made the horrifying discovery that their daughter and sister were missing. After exhausting all options, they contacted the authorities, who put out a missing persons report and began interviewing those who knew her. That list included the last person to see her alive, Aidan. Aidan's testimony to the authorities did not inspire confidence. His timeline didn't add up, seemingly taking 2 hours to return home in what was, at most, a 30-minute walk. He suggested that Tristan had been hanging around with a 20-something drug dealer, a claim that nobody else backed up. And then, authorities received an email with an attachment. It was a Snapchat screenshot. In the back of the patrol car, Aidan took a selfie with a peace sign, adding a text banner that read, "Hey guys, has anybody seen Tristan lately?" His classmates shot back, reminding him that Aidan was the only one who knew.
You were with Aidan, you knew what happened to her. Bruh, aren't you the one that got her into this mess?
What happened. But his sociopathic glee didn't end with just one post, as he openly implied that his victim was alive and staging this whole saga.
Before my heart transplant, I loved to play baseball. Yeah, I couldn't keep up with all the...
We're having fun in a fucking cop car.
Yep. Tristan.
What's up, guys?
Yep.
Tristan, if you fucking walk out the damn...
When you see this in a month...
Before police could obtain Aidan's cell phone, a runner discovered the bloodied corpse of Tristan in the woods, the stab wounds visible. Within an hour, police put out a search warrant for Aidan and brought him in for questioning, leaving him in a room with his parents. At this point, it's obvious just how much trouble Aidan is in, but his cold refusal to even acknowledge it is chilling. When reminded that his friend is dead, Aidan fails to see why he should care.
You know they found this girl, right?
Where?
Most people like doing all this crazy like killer shit. They're usually like, you know, like in one of these videos, usually like a teenager or like, you know, a white teenager or a white male teenager. It feels like they just like living life on easy mode or something, but also just how can you be like so unafraid of like the consequences? Like you're literally ruining your life, my guy, for killing somebody. It's like if I kill somebody in like a fight or kill somebody in like maybe like a drug exchange for money. You're just killing somebody because you're like bored. You're killing somebody because you have like nothing better going on
In our neighborhood.
Like why ruin your life for literally nothing?
Down our main street.
Is she good?
No, she's not.
She's dead. That's why this is very important. It's all on you right now.
What is my problem?
You were
You
the
were
last
the
one
last
with
one
her.
seen with her. So right now, it's facing you right now, son.
At one point during the encounter, Aidan's parents press him to acknowledge just how serious the situation is. But he can't seem to see it. When they ask if he's scared, Aiden claims he isn't, despite his fidgety hand movements.
Are you not scared?
Not really.
Not really?
I'm a little scared, but...
Yeah, even his parents, usually like his parents, I don't know, somebody or like accused or like super like, oh my gosh, he didn't do it. Oh my gosh, he's nothing associated with this. They seem like, even if he didn't murder her, not that they know that he did or didn't, but like he did something. He was involved in some way. Like I usually don't see parents this like suspicious of their own children.
If he didn't do nothing, I wouldn't be worried about him.
No, that sounds awesome.
He didn't do nothing, right?
Aiden's parents continue pressing him for his side of the story, but he remains totally unmoved, offering up vague answers through a disinterested mumble and frequently avoiding eye contact. Aiden admits that he kissed Tristan and did more with her, confirming his DNA is on her. And yet, through it all, he shows seemingly no recognition of how damning that evidence could be.
What were you doing outside that late at night?
I was at Trey's house hanging out with them.
Did you kiss or do anything with this girl?
Be honest as you can to them.
To
Yes.
Yeah, I kissed her.
any further? So your DNA's gonna be on her?
Later on, Aiden is again asked if there's anything that's still being hidden from his parents. While he insists there isn't, he takes the opportunity to try and frame Tristan as the aggressor.
Yeah, he probably, maybe his parents didn't know that, like, all this would be recorded inside the room. He's talking to his parents. And also, he probably should have just told his parents the truth. More likely than not, they probably just got him a lawyer, which would have been a lot easier than going through all this.
Implying that she got aggressive with Aiden and prompting him to push her. Knowing the truth, that claim is nothing but sociopathic, and his clear lack of emotion or even apprehension is chilling to see.
Unless you know anything I don't know. Did y'all have sex?
Did she really grab you and you just really pushed her, or was that?
No, she did.
Okay.
You don't know what happened to her after you pushed her?
Did she say ow or get mad?
She said Aiden. She was like, Aiden. I think I pushed her, but I just told her to back on. And she walked off.
Do you know what direction she walked in?
Probably the other way, because she wasn't next to me anymore.
When his parents finally pressed him for his side of the story, Aiden gave them a slight variant of what he told the police, claiming that Tristan had no intentions of going home that night. According to him, she was looking for someone to go home with, and decided to get a ride with her dealer. But his body language is far from convincing, again offering the information through a bored, disinterested mumble.
Did you tell me anything different about car that we don't know about? No. Do you know if this girl got picked up?
I told him about her dealer.
You think she got picked up by him?
Probably did. She said she wasn't coming home. She said she's gonna find somebody to stay
Like
at
she
her
left her
house.
there walking? Like you think she got picked up after that? She just kept walking?
Probably. Yeah, I don't know.
Do you know if she turned the other direction or she was just?
His parents are so suspicious. Even they don't believe something's like, they believe something's wrong.
Behind you.
She pushed her down and you walked away. We shouldn't be talking.
I was just asking what he told the cops. I was just asking what he told them.
When Aiden's parents encouraged their son to say nothing until his attorney arrived, police raided their home. When they entered Aiden's room, they discovered a treasure trove of smoking gun evidence. They found an empty knife sheath in his drawer, allegedly poker. Stuffed next to his dresser, they found a pair of wet Nike shoes with blood on them, matching the outfit Aiden wore in the surveillance footage. And stuffed under the dresser, authorities found a blooded t-shirt and a pair of wet blue denim jeans, which matched the outfit Aiden wore that day. But as if that wasn't enough, authorities also found that the drain in the bathroom sink had traces of blood and dirt, and among his belongings, an odd notebook contained drawings of a violent and satanic nature. There was no question. Authorities quickly arrested Aiden on a charge of second-degree murder, upping it to first degree after the extent of Tristan's wounds became clear. Then, out of the blue, Aiden's mother, Crystal, was arrested on a warrant.
Smith is seen cleaning her son's bloody jeans. When officers went into the home, they found a pair of wet jeans in Fucci's bedroom. And as we reported earlier this summer, the jeans and a drain in a bathroom tested positive for blood.
Thanks to a surveillance video within the home, Crystal had been caught on tape washing Aiden's bloodied blue jeans in the sink.
Can they prove that she knew that they were theirs? Also, like other kids. It's like a lot of toys. Does he have like a bunch of brothers and sisters or something? Is like a daycare here? What's going on?
Authorities quickly charged her with tampering with crucial case evidence and advising her son to lie about what he wore the night of the murder. She has pleaded not guilty to both of these allegations. In September 2021, Aiden was brought into a room at the Duval County Jail to follow the process of his pre-trial hearing. But everyone viewed his behavior as erratic, if not highly concerning.
Why am I here? I just want to talk to my mom and dad. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
From the moment he enters the room, Aiden seems dazed and confused. But it all gets a little more unusual when he begins mumbling about demons taking his soul.
What's going on? I don't want you demons. I don't want you demons take my soul. You demons want to take my soul away. I don't let you demons steal my soul. I don't know what's going on.
When you think of health insurance, these two words don't often come to mind, but they do.
Yeah, this is weird. He's losing his mind in prison. Doesn't know what the fuck is going on.
Since investigators found a notebook full of satanic drawings, it's not impossible that Aiden truly believed demons were attacking him. But this is likely Aiden's last-ditched effort to secure a way out of prison. The insanity plea has long been a go-to solution for killers and psychopaths. And faking a demonic possession works, except when it doesn't. Aiden would eventually go to trial for his crimes, and the judge declaring that his alleged demonic possession would not be considered. Unsurprisingly, that seemed to help Aiden overcome the demonic attacks he was allegedly suffering beforehand. The old, emotionless personality his classmates warned of returned, with Aiden barely reacting to the gruesome details of his crimes. Throughout the trial, Aiden was seen to be following the orders given to him by his attorney, barely saying a word except when he specifically had to. But that doesn't mean his performance was perfect or polished. At one point, Aiden was caught on camera laughing at something his attorney wrote on a piece of paper, undermining any apology he had made to Tristan's family. But that happiness didn't last long. When Aiden's grandmother took to the stand, her tearful testimony seemed to affect Aiden more than any other, as she tearfully confessed that the boy in front of her was not the grandson she had helped raise. Aiden was genuinely affected by the comments.
So sorry. I just don't need my mama to. Wow, this is so hard.
This marks the only instance in the entire trial that Aiden was shown to exhibit some kind of genuine, non-contrived emotion. And, like a true psychopath, it was only because it affected him. Tristan's family's pain had elicited no expression from him for the duration of the trial. But see the way that he responds when his grandmother fears she'll never see him again.
And I know we're a very large Christian family, and we pray all the time, and I just hope you consider that a little bit, and please don't take him out of our lives forever. I know that I've died and not be able to spend time with him sometime before I go.
That's pretty sad. Usually, like, even a title, when a 14-year-old killer fakes insanity, it seems like the killer's bad, he's bad, but there are so many families. It's like a whole community that gets affected by this. And it's like just widespread trauma for everybody in the community. So that has to be like the real horrible part.
At this moment, it appears that Hayden had finally realized the scale of the consequences of his actions. But It passed quickly. The judge eventually decided that Aiden's crime, which lacked any motive and was done purely to cause harm to another human, was worthy of life in prison. And Aiden, unsurprisingly, didn't seem fazed by that news whatsoever.
Mr. Fucci, having entered a plea of guilty to the crime of first-degree murder, I adjudicate you guilty of the premeditated first-degree murder of Tristan Bailey. I sentence you to life in prison. Because of your age, you are eligible for review of the sentence in 25 years.
Despite his public apologies to Tristan's family throughout the trial and after, Aiden doesn't seem to register what the sentence meant. In his mind, it likely doesn't mean anything. He always said he wanted to feel what it would be like to kill, and he achieved that.
Pretty fucking horrible. Person has no remorse. They should definitely not be allowed to run a general population. I think it's like, you know, being a psychopath, sociopath. There's no cure for that currently with current medicine, so usually people like exhibiting behavior like this, they just need to be removed from the general population. I think that's definitely what would be best.